Hi, my name is Margot. I'm one of the naturalists here at Chimney Rock State Park, and each one of our trails focus on different wildflowers this time of year in the springtime. Today we're going to be hiking along the Hickory Nut Falls Trail and seeing what kind of wildflowers we find along the way. So come and join me on our little hike. Here is one of our well-known wildflowers. This is our Carolina rhododendron blooming, and a lot of people get them confused with our Rose Bay rhododendron, because if you come a little bit closer, you'll see that the leaves on the Carolina rhododendron here are really small around the cluster of flowers. Our Rose Bay rhododendron, which also grows nearby these plants, has a leaf about this large. And if you can kind of see the large difference, it's also a little bit darker green. And these Rose Bay rhododendrons bloom a couple months later than our Carolina rhododendron. Here's another one of our really cool wildflowers called a purple PHACELIA. And these normally grow on our rocky banks along our trails. And as you can see, they like to grow in kind of little bunches, usually about 3 together. They're very purple in color, and their leaves are very jagged and sharp. This time of year, you have to be very careful hiking on the trails because you might run into this plant. This, of course, is poison ivy. And the rhyme that goes along with this plant is leaves of 3, let me be. And of course, if you rub against these leaves, get the oil on your skin, you can break out in a very itchy, annoying rash. This is one of our most famous flowers here in North Carolina. This is actually our state flower here in the state of North Carolina. This is called our flowering dogwood. A lot of people don't know that these white surroundings of the flower is actually not a petal. It's actually a bud covering, which covers the actual flower, which is in the middle. This is one of my favorite trees here in the Blue Ridge Mountains here in North Carolina. It specifically grows around this elevation in this region of America. This is called the mountain magnolia, and it only blooms this time of year, and the flowers only last a couple days before falling to the ground. If you look up top toward the canopy, you'll see one. And if you're close enough, it smells really, really good. Fortunately, most of these flowers bloom toward the top of the canopy of the tree and you aren't able to smell them. This is one of our really awesome flowers this time of year. This is our dwarf crested iris. And they like to grow in shady, cooler regions, sometimes rocky outbanks like this, here near our bottom of our waterfall, Hickory Nut Falls. And sometimes they like to grow in clusters, so you'll see a whole bunch of these flowers growing within a small area. A lot of times this time of year we have guests come up and ask us why our bottom of our fall smells like a skunk is out walking around. And normally that's because they're smelling this plant right here. This is called galax, and it can produce a smell that has a skunky aroma. And it confuses many people because they're looking for a skunk walking around. Really, they're walking by this little plant right here. This is one of our more commonly overlooked wildflowers. It likes to grow toward the floor of the forest. And this is called the chickweed, and they're very tiny white petals, and if you zoom in really, really close, there's some red stems in there. You can kind of see the stamen. This is our Carolina allspice, or some people refer to it as spice bush. It has really pretty burgundy flowers, and they have a smell. It smells like crushed strawberries when you sniff them. Unfortunately, you cannot eat them though. They are poisonous. This is one of our earliest blooming flowers here in Chimney Rock. Right now, there's not too many left here in the park. This is called our sweet BETSY TRILLIUM, or they're also referred to sometimes as toadstool trillium. And normally in this part of the park, they will bloom a purple burgundy blossom. Another wildflower that likes to grow in the rocky outcroppings on banks here near our trails will be this one right here. It's called the wild columbine. And some people also refer to it as the name eagle because it has flower petals that reach down, kind of like an eagle's talons.